Ow, belly. I've got a fucking headache, bro. Man. Oh, I didn't take my medicine last night. Did I? I don't think I did. Oh, my fucking neck hurts. I got a headache. So I made a run for work on my day off because it needed to be done. I had a dream last night. This girl that I messed around with regularly invited me over, wanted me to come hang over with her friend. And then it's how shit always used to go down with me. Like, I'd be over there with their friend, and then they'd be like, they'd start their sex, start kissing on me and shit. And then, you know, whatever. Let's go then. Don't give a fuck if your friend's here or not. And then the friend joins in. At first, the friend was just kind of there fucking with both of us while we were doing stuff. And then the girl that I'd been doing stuff with looked me in the eye and was like, "You need to fuck her." Because I'd been mainly focusing on the friend I'd done stuff with a lot. And then when I shifted attention to her friend, my friend just got up and went to the bathroom. And her friend was so much hotter. Holy fuck. I felt like I was breaking some sort of cosmic rules. Like, wow. But she was 110% into it. And I was pretty much, I don't know if you call it a romantic or a tease or what, but I've never been one just to, you know, pull out dick and stick it in there. I've got to fucking kiss and massage and tease with my fingertips and fucking more and more teasing and more massaging and more kissing everywhere that's not, you know, mouth and pussy or whatever. It's what I do. It's what I've always done. You don't just jump in a pool, you fucking hang out and put your feet in and shit. That's a terrible analogy. What the fuck is going on here? Play, bitch. Oh, you're right. I have to listen to my shit because I'm recording a video. Thank you, Google. You were right. I wonder if it would have let me. I think it was starting to play 9 Inch Nails. Oh shit, it was so good. It was funny because when I finally teased her to the point where I was gonna start teasing internally, she was one of those people that had like a, oh my god, that's a cool as shit Corvette. That looks like a Lamborghini. Let's just say I put a finger in and I was like, uh-oh. I had to work up. I had to like work up to 2 fingers. And that was about the time when her friend came, or our friend came back or whatever. And I was like, I don't think I can get my dick in here. And then the friend was like, she kind of lifted herself up onto her elbows and she just like gave me this fucking stern ass eye contact and she was like, just do it. And I was, all right. And then I foregoed the rest of the, so I usually like to get people off a few times before Dick even gets involved. But she was pretty fucking obviously, you know, force that shit in me right now, so I do what I'm told. It was so fucking good. She reacted extremely in the positive. She was there for it. Jesus Christ, she was there for it. Why wouldn't I go on? How far away am I from the fucking 101? That'd be easier. God, she was there for it. It was so good. Like, it got to the point where the friend that fucking got me in that situation had to, like, get my attention. Like, hey, don't stop paying attention to me. Because I did. She didn't even exist anymore. It was so fucking good. And then after a while, once she got accustomed to it, she flipped my ass over and it was time for her to fuck. I totally missed the on-ramp. I don't give a fuck. Oh my God. I woke up and I was like, no, I want to go back. Send me back. I want to, no, oh no. And I quickly went back to sleep. I never got back there. I went to the bathroom, and I was like, no, oh my God. You know how a lot of times if you're dreaming and you wake up, you can go back to a version of the dream, but it's usually twisted. And it was just, I went back and I was hanging out with them, but it was in a different setting. And they were trying to be cool. And the tight chick's mom was there. And she was kind of like, she could tell shit had gone on between the three of us. And it was like, yeah, I'm cool, you're cool, we're all cool, but don't touch each other and kind of stay separate. And it was like, what happened after that? I woke up again, moved back to my room. I don't remember what the third section of it was. It was in a whole, like, a shitty setting. Like I went from her world to, like, came over into my world, and it was like I want to say it was back at my grandma and grandpa's house on Cloverdale. Except for it was a way bigger house. Everything's always really big in my dreams because I can't stand how confined everything is in reality when you don't make $300,000 or more a year. It sucks, dude. I don't know. That's part of the reason I kind of believe maybe there's something to past lives, because this shit doesn't feel like it suits me at all. Like, whatever. I'm all or nothing. I've always been all or nothing. And this is nothing. And why even try? But anyway, that's depressing. But we kept, like, she was there too. And we kept, like, going off to the side, like, you know, around corners and when people were looking, like, hugging and cuddling and shit. And then broke it up as soon as anyone was anywhere near noticing. Didn't get caught, but it was sucked. Go from great fucking sex. God damn, so good. I'm glad I didn't come in real life, because I came like 4 times in that dream. It was so good. First time I came was with the girl that I'd known, and she was like the first Beth. She would immediately after I was completely done, jump down there and start it back to life. I was so shocked when I came the fourth time, because usually if I come a third time, that's the last time. But it was so fucking hot. It was so fucking hot. I got off a fourth time. Big too. The fourth time was bigger than the other three. God, it was good. I wish I could like save it. I remember it. I remember it all. I think I remember it all. I remember a lot of it. Try not to get in a car accident. Thinking about how fucking good it was. God, it was good. She had like a wavy blonde hair down to the bottom of her shoulder blades. She was fairly toned, but a little chubby. It was perfect. She didn't have big arms like Beth did. I don't know how Beth had fat arms and a six-pack. Explain that to me. Everybody's like, you can't just lose weight in one section of your body. You lose weight universally. Yeah, well, tell that to my wife with fat arms and a six-pack. Huh? Tell me. So my new plan is to drive east behind this cute girl until I hit the 101 and go south. Who I just right now recognize as cute. So, I was going to talk about aliens. I guess I still have time. Let's start with aliens. I know I've talked about this before, but when I was 8 or 9, it was 1988 or 1989 it was outside Atchison, Kansas. I was downstairs, and now that I think about it, this is a common thing, I guess. I was downstairs and I was just like, I had this feeling like I need to go outside. I need to go outside right now. Something's going on. I need to go look. I didn't hear anything. There was no sound. But I went outside and looked up, and there was a UFO. And then it started to move, and then there was an explosion. And then I heard jets around, and it was close. It was, I want to say it looked like it was a couple blocks away, but a piece of it landed 4 houses down. Whoops, I gotta get over it. A piece of it landed close enough that I kind of walked real low through the, I was 8, so I mean, I was pretty low to begin with. But I snuck through, because in the back of the property lines, everybody had bushes and shit. Bushes and fences and shit. And it wasn't an alley, but there was like an area there you could walk through. And I got down there and I jumped in this person's yard, and I got the piece I saw fall down. And there was a lot more the further down you went. No, that's not true. There was 2 more houses, and then a road, and then trees and shit. Maybe there was shit beyond the trees. I never went through there. The furthest, that road is where we drove from our house down the street, turned onto that road, and then drove back into town. I think there was trees. I don't remember. But I know that a piece of it, I saw a little bit land. Oh. Yeah, you know, that was a right turn only, but that's cool. But I picked a piece of it up. It was just like 3 or 4 inches. It was like 5-sided, just a piece of metal, like a thin ass piece of metal, and it was, I don't know, probably the size of like the diameter of like a volleyball. It wasn't big, but it wasn't really tiny either. And I took it home. I took it inside. I snuck back the same way I went down there. There was nobody around it that second. I went back inside, and I heard a bunch of vehicles pulling up and shit outside. Not on my street really, but down there. And I stayed the fuck inside, and I was playing with it, and it was like real thin, real flat. The edges weren't really sharp, but I crumpled it up into a little ball because I wanted to stick it like in my ass. I wanted to like hide it, but I couldn't crumple it up because it just kept stretching itself back out flat. I couldn't even put a crease in it. So then my mission was to put a crease in it. I wanted to at least put a crease in it. I didn't think I could make it stay flat, but I thought I could make it crease. Put a dent in it, something. So I had like a toolbox, and I was doing everything I could to fuck it up. I couldn't fuck it up. It didn't care. Like it didn't. It's like, I don't care what you do to me. You can hammer me. I didn't try to puncture it. But I remember pliers. What is that thing called? Sharpen it like a whetstone. I'd fold it over and then like rub it with the whetstone to try and, use force to make a crease, and it wouldn't crease. I couldn't get it to crease. And then about that time, my stepdad, I feel like I worked on it because it was like probably 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. And then it was probably 6:30, I think. I'm pretty sure it was like 6:30. Maybe it was like 5. Maybe it was about 5 when that happened. And then it was like 6:30, and my stepdad, who usually didn't get home until like 8, he walked in, dressed up in he was Army. He was dressed up in his shit. It was military, I don't know. And he came in and said, "Give it to me." And I was like, "What?" And it was like the scariest he's ever been. He just kind of leaned forward and said, "Give it to me now." And I was like, "Okay," and I gave it to him. And then he left. He never spoke of it again. I never spoke of it again. By the time he left, everybody was gone outside, down there on the street and shit. And I went back out there several times. And did I cross that? I think I was scared to go into those trees. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look up, because Amelia Airfield was down the street. Amelia Earhart Airfield? I know it was Amelia Earhart's namesake. Earhart Airfield? Earhart Field? But anyway, I read these, well, I guess that was the 40s. I remember when I was little, I would read about, like I grew up, when did Communion come out? There's a book of Wesley Stryber wrote, I think I pronounced his name right. I apologize if I didn't. About getting abducted and all that shit, and coming to terms and getting to know the aliens or whatever, becoming comfortable with them or whatever. I think that was after. I think that was in the 90s. I think that was after we moved back north where that shit came out. And then there was a movie much later. But anyway, and then in the 90s and early 2000s, I looked into UFOs more. Actually, in the 90s, after that, I was at my buddy's house off of Lake Manawa and in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Not Atchison, Kansas, but Council Bluffs, Iowa. And we were outside. There was the damnedest storm. There was storms going on, except for no rain, no thunder, just a fuck ton of lightning. Like, I mean, for like an hour or two. A fuck ton of lightning. And then we had a weird feeling and we went inside. Like, we're like, we gotta go inside right now. It was opposite. It was the opposite of what I felt that one day. We went inside, and then there was some bright light outside, then the power went out, and we thought it was lightning. And the power went out, and it just felt weird. It felt like something was wrong. It felt like something was really wrong. And then the lights came back on, and we were looking at each other like, we should go back outside. Like, yeah, we should go back outside. So we go outside, maybe 2 minutes had passed, and there was a lady down the street. She was in a nightgown, and she was walking up the middle of the street. And we figured it was just some other lady that came out. And we were like, you okay? And she didn't. She was just walking at just a basic pace, just walking. And we were like, are you okay? Didn't respond, didn't look at us, didn't change, didn't speed up or slow down, just walking. And then we got out of the street and stood on the side, and she walked by us. She just kept walking up the street. And we watched her. We watched her for a few minutes, you know, pass us and then keep walking. And she kept following that road up around the lake, and she walked out of sight. And we couldn't take our eyes off her until we couldn't see her anymore. And I looked at David, and David looked at me, and we both looked down the street, and we were like, okay. Okay then, is what we did. And the next day, there were crop circles. So the way she was coming from so if you go down his street, there's a curve, and if there's an outlet, so you go straight. If you didn't take the curve and went straight, it would have been an alley behind some houses. And then while you're on the left, the houses are on the left, and on the right was a cornfield. And then, like, right after the curve on the left, where the houses are and shit, there was a little park, and then there was houses. And that like where that alley is on the right, I think there were 2 cornfields, but there was a crop circle there the next day. And we found that out because his sister came over, because his 2 sisters lived, well, where I was at with him was his grandma's house, and then his mom's house was a few blocks away. And you walked right by that park going to and from his mom's house. You could. I mean, that was the way they went all the time. Because sometimes it's Tom's, and we would play. Everybody played at that park. Had swing set and shit. Why not? But yeah, they came over and they're like, "Hey, you guys see the crop circles?" And we're like, "What?" And she's like, "You get up on the slide, you can kind of see it." So we went over there and checked it out. And then that Monday they cut it all down. I don't remember seeing this in crop circle stuff, but the center of the crops, where the circles were, the bigger ones anyway, if you touched where it was all twisted, and it was perfect, it was all perfect. But that's something that a lot of these, and it was like woven and all that shit. It wasn't just like squashed down. It was impressive to witness. But in the middle, a big chunk of a big section in the middle, whatever, I don't know what the diameter was, 5 or 6 feet or whatever. Like, if you touched the shit on the ground, there was like a really, really fine powder on it. I don't know if it was, I don't know if it's ash or what. It was weird. I don't know if it was dirt. I don't know. This was when I was 13, 12 or 13. Maybe 11 or 12. Because the ghost scene where the furniture moved around was 13 or 14. It was a year or two after the lady in the nights. But anyway, so I don't know. I feel like my mom used to get abducted. A lot of reasons for that. And then the place where my grandpa lived, I think there was natives that either died around there or had a burial ground somewhere there. Because there was this native woman that we kept seeing as a ghost in his basement, which I didn't really think about again until recently. My mom was the one that saw it the most, and she only said anything to me about it because I asked her if she ever dreamed about seeing native women in the basement. I didn't dream it. I saw it while I was awake. She told me all about it, all about all the times she's seen stuff and felt stuff and whatever. And then she asked me if anything weird ever happened in the middle of the night. And that's when she explained a lot of stuff to me that she's dealt with since she was a kid. And that was before, I think maybe that conversation is when she started looking into alien abduction. And then found out she wasn't the only one, I guess, if I remember correctly. I don't think I've ever been abducted, which would make for great jokes. I would make tons of jokes about it if I did. Please abduct me, aliens. I want more stuff to joke about. I'm not a comedian, but I do like to make jokes. There was a meme. I feel like I just talked about this on the way home yesterday. For Make America Great Again, it was "My ass got arrested." I think I found that out at home. I don't remember, but I'm gonna talk about it again because it made me laugh. God, I want to go back in that dream with those two girls. It was so good. It was so fun. The noise she made, she was so fucking wet that, I don't know, I guess that's what pussies are made to do. They're made to fucking accustom a dick that's coming in or whatever. That sounds rough. She was wet enough. It wasn't impossible. I went in real fucking slow. And once I got it about as far in as I could get without having to push harder, the noise she made was like, oh. Like I always do. I was like, you alright? Fucking grabbed onto my fucking the sides of my hips and like pulled. Like, alright. It's go time then. Oh, I didn't say it was go time or anything like that, but oh, so good. God, it was fun. Whew. Trying to think if I missed anything on that alien shit. Not that I know of. Doing? I guess he's right. What are we doing, bro? Brosif. Brosophine. Cool story, bro. I've been rolling with Reason 7 for a long time. And like, I realized that it wasn't even getting any updates years ago. Like, the last update was like 3 or 4 years ago. But I happened to notice it was on sale. Like 40% off. And the upgrade wasn't that expensive to begin with. So I bought the upgrade last night. And I'm itching to get back and play with it some more. They added, it's like, there's like double the amount of stuff from 7 to 12. And I still have the gang of fucking shit I haven't even used yet. As far as sample banks and shit. I'm gonna do that as soon as I get home.